everyone, and welcome back to Pony 411, where, well, we took a 2-week hiatus, even though I said 1 week on the Twitter. Sorry. Things happen, you know, whatever. Anyway, I'm Nemesis.
Who are you people?
Yeah, I'm Nemesis, and that guy you just heard shouting is Artfan.
Hello. Welcome back, everyone.
Yeah, and we got 4-string as well.
Did you even notice we were gone?
Yeah.
You didn't, did you?
Did you? I don't know.
You didn't.
I noticed you were gone, Kevin.
I didn't even notice we were gone. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. 2 weeks.
Thing to do.
I just kept myself busy the whole time reading Homestuck. So.
Yeah. Of course you did.
How does every time?
Every
single time.
Every single time.
He's just like ready. He's like, oh, I can make this into a Homestuck reference.
Of course.
It's not even a reference. It's just him talking.
It's just me saying I read
It's just
Homestuck.
him saying the word Homestuck. It's
every single time.
And by the way, Homestuck.
No.
The new updates are awesome. But anyway,
you're using up your quota for the episode.
You're using up the
early.
quota for your life.
well, I gotta say that the new updates for Homestuck were just as good as the new updates of My Little Pony.
Stop! What are you doing?
What updates?
Exactly.
We're in a hiatus right now. There are no updates.
Well, there's a lot of updates. We have Equestria Girls to look forward to, and that's when all the fans come and kill me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it.
Well, I'm watching it too, but no idea what's
gonna be awesome.
Listen, after the shit I just watched with the Gen 1 movie, Equestria Girls has to at least be better than that.
Well, thanks for spoiling the topic, jerk.
It's a perfect lead-in.
I didn't say that was the topic. You just spoiled the topic.
Hey guys, the topic is My Little Pony, the movie.
My Little Pony, Kevin's new computer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. I got a new computer.
Yeah, so now we can actually, not worry about things like crashing or something, like, or losing all our stuff, like right.
That only happened that one time.
One time.
Yeah. And now this means Kevin can do all the podcast editing on top of the 6 other jobs he has.
Go die in a fire.
Oh God. Oh God, guys.
I think his brain just imploded.
Yes, but yeah, quick hits, lots of them. I'm going to try to fly through these as fast as possible because let's be honest, some of them you're probably already very well aware of, but you might not.
Around the fandom in 60 seconds. Go.
Let's go. Okay, number 1, Ponies, the Anthology 3. Yeah, you remember those first 2? Yeah, we're getting a new one. It's coming out sometime this year. We don't know anything beyond that. Season 3 finally hit Netflix. And so if you've been itching for new Pony episodes on demand without, threat of takedown because of copyright or whatever, now's your chance. 3. Everfree Northwest has announced the attendance of Peter New, who most known among us for being the voice of Big Mac, and Andrew Francis, the voice of Shining Armor. The 2013 State of the Herd report results have been released. If you're interested in seeing statistics about the fandom, including things like who are the most popular characters, you should go check it out. And, okay, the big one that would happen over our break is Season 4 has been officially announced, even though we've pretty much known about it for the last few months. And they kind of told us a release date, which is winter.
Well,
February 2014.
That is not, a non-possibility because...
Bring me your tears.
Yeah, I mean, before we've always had fall releases. Now we're getting winter, which means the earliest is December, but more likely January or February. Because they didn't say 2013. They said winter.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good times.
Fun time. So I'm willing to bet it's probably because, they're staggering it with Equestria Girls, which is premiering in the fall. Oh, dear.
Which we all know is just going to be...
a thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Hot Topic has revealed the next set of Funko vinyl figures, and it's going to be Pinkie Pie and Lyra. And, of course, you got to be careful with the Lyra one because it might stab you 37 times in the chest.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And they've also kind of hinted that there might be a Trixie sometime, which I would assume is probably going to be released with Twilight. Whenever that happens, because they've also said they're going to release all 6 of the main 6, so there you go. Anyway, Buck has confirmed its venue will be in Bridgewater Hall, and tickets are on sale now. They will cost $55 for the base, or £55, sorry, for the basic ticket, with other tiers and options available as well. And also, if you order between the 24th and 29th of March, your purchase will be refunded, and you'll have to order again because they had problems with PayPal. Oh yeah, another thing which you're probably all well aware of. Fan episode titled Snowdrop has been released. Go look at it if you're interested, but personally, I thought it was kind of bland.
Oh, well, just
I
being all
see.
biased here, aren't
I'm
you?
biasing this.
I actually haven't finished watching it yet, so I can't really say much.
Yeah. But yeah, I could probably go in more depth, but I don't have time for that. Seeds of Kindness 3, Beautiful Heart charity album has been announced, and as usual, the proceeds will go to charity, this time the Your Siblings group. And a bunch of pictures now floating around of the Series 2 cards from Enterplay for the My Little Pony trading cards. So you should go look at those. They're all over the place. Equestria Daily, Derpy Hooves News, they all have pictures of all, and of course Derpy Brew, all have pictures of them. So if you want to look at them, we'll put the links in. You'll be able to see. The Build-A-Bear ponies and their related accessories have finally been released. And so if you want to go to Build-A-Bear and get your own pony with brushable hair, plushie, and possibly dresses, go look. It's Dash and Pinky. Brony Can, the Canadian convention, has announced where and when they will take place. It will take place in the Executive Airport Plaza Hotel and Conference Center in Richmond, British Columbia, and on August 24th and 25th. We're almost done. But first, details of the Season 2 DVDs for both Australia and the US have been released. The Australian release will be released as 5 separate volumes with a collector's box being available on June 19th. And the US release will be hit Amazon exclusively as a single volume on May 14th. Ultra Pro has announced they'll be making card accessories for the Enterplay MLP trading cards, which will be stuff like, boxes and whatnot to put your cards in. Simple stuff. And also, in somewhat pony-related news, Main 6 will get the Skullgirls engine for use in their fighting game thanks to the Skullgirls Indiegogo fund breaching $725,000, and in fact making it to $829,827. And due to not being able to achieve its 14,000 euro goal, Crystal Con has been cancelled to avoid another Unicon-style disaster. And on top of that, Cadillac Gardens has also been canceled because they did not hit their Kickstarter goal. Yeah, they wanted $20,000. They got what, pledged $5,000 something dollars?
So, yeah, in the ballpark of a 5,000.
Somewhere around there, yeah. Moving on from that, fan episode Double Rainboom has also been released, which has been a big thing the last few days. You can look at it on YouTube. And I kind of want to stop for a second and just kind of ask, Forstring, what'd you think of it?
Well, as I've told a lot of people, there's 2 ways to look at it. I think you look at it as a student film, and you look at it as a fan episode of a TV show that said up front that it wanted to remain as faithful and like keep the spirit of a normal episode. I think as a student animated film, very good. The animation was very solid. The writing was pretty good, was pretty solid too. For once again, for like I thought maybe it was a college student film, if not high school. Either way, student film for in that regard, very good. As a fan episode, still pretty solid animation. Once again, I think was pretty good for being a fan thing. Although it did definitely make you kind of appreciate more what DHX does. And the writing, kind of it pretty much read to me like kind of more of a fanfic than an episode, which isn't meant to be a derogatory term toward fanfics by any means. It just means that, the episodes kind of have more of an episode feel. This had more of a feel of something I might read on film fiction. That's kind of just like, a fan has kind of come up with this idea of like, oh my God, what if this happened? And throws it on the page, and there you go. So, that's how I felt about it, basically. But I didn't love it, but I enjoyed it enough. I can't hate it. I really can't. Mainly just because of the first part that it's still a student film. I'm not going to get too hypercritical about it, but yeah, good times, whatever.
Oh, you won't get hypercritical. I can get hypercritical.
Go right ahead.
Okay, so I watched it, shortly after it premiered. Personally, okay. I agree with you. Animation, very good. Since this is an animation project, I say if he doesn't pass because of this, what's wrong with the school? The music, very solid. However, the writing, I personally thought the writing was just kind of, bad. I will honestly go. It's because, as far as I'm concerned, the plot was so threadbare. It's just like, the first. It's like when the twist comes, you're like, and it's like, oh, I was like, oh, this is what's turning into. And yeah, I agree with the whole. It's now it feels like a fan fiction thing. And it's like, yeah, it just feels like, okay, this is the plot. As far as, okay, Dash drinks a potion and goes really fast. Then
but it's not like in the Sonic
else.
sense.
And I just feel also it's too meme and reference heavy. It tries with, basically it's just a constant barrage of just memes and references that just like, and it's like, look at it and laugh. And that's like,
yeah. I will say I didn't really like the first scene, how they wrote Twilight and Rainbow Dash.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was, I didn't really enjoy that as much. I thought Dash was too annoying and Twilight was too just, there was something about her just wasn't herself. She was just too
scientific.
Not scientific. It's tough to put a word on it, but she was just too like the fun was sucked out of her completely.
just off. Something's
just
not
For
just
the,
yeah.
for the record, I'm actually watching it right now as you guys are talking about it.
And just
I've never seen
and
it.
like how pissed she got when someone drank the potion. It was like, well, you probably want someone to drink it eventually. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, I mean, like, yeah, the opening scene, I was like, eh. But I'll admit that, like, when that Powerpuff Girls thing came up,
Yeah.
I was like, I laughed. I mean, like, when it happened, as a whole, whatever. But like the fact that it happened at all, I was just like, oh god, I did not see that one coming.
Yeah. I want to say that they did the disclaimer they suddenly put on it kind of really jarring. It's like, right in the middle of the episode, new disclaimer. Oh.
Yeah, right. I'll tell you what though.
The sound-alike voice actors they got were pretty good.
Eileen Montgomery,
Oh, yeah, I heard.
who voiced Bubbles.
Yeah, she did a good job.
I featured her
job.
before. I featured her before in the music segment of this podcast. She's wonderful. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Like when she popped up saying like, "Oh yeah, she did it," I was like, "Aha."
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Not just because she's following us on Twitter, honest.
No. I mean, actually, legitimately very good. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like one of those things. Like, did they actually get Tara to do this real quick? No.
Well, I was gonna say, like, the sound-alikes are incredibly well done.
I actually.
Well, the Dash was
some of the most of the voices were pretty good. Twilight every once in a while was a little off. I think Dash's voice actress did not do that great of a job, in my opinion. There was a lot of times where it was off, and not only that, there's a couple times it's like the sound quality itself was like, did you record this like on a tin can with a string? Or something?
I've already heard that. Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
it's like, what happened there? Did you not even bother to record? Yeah, it just felt like off sometimes, really off, and like that's not good if your main voice actress is not off.
Yeah, which actually
off.
I will interject here and say that over at the Daily O, the guy who ended up reviewing this was like trying to pin that on the voice actress, and I disagree. I think that's the fault of the people who got her to do the voice. I'm like, if you know that this person has bad sound quality of a mic, you don't hire that person. It's as simple as that. That's how I feel like.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, like, I at least me personally, that now other people might be different here, but me personally, I don't really blame necessarily the voice actress for that. For me, it's more so like,
I'm also noticing that the acting isn't exactly top notch either.
Yeah, someone said the conversation between Twilight and Dash is like just kind of drags on, doesn't feel natural.
It feels flat though. The emotions are like,
and
it feels like a dry read.
Another thing I don't like is basically once we get to the Powerpuff Girls part, it's like just one giant chase sequence, and that's it.
Wait, the Powerpuff Girls show up in this?
We just kind of talked about that, Art.
I'm watching it as you're talking, so excuse me if I'm not.
But yeah, so it's just one giant chase sequence. I honestly felt they could have easily cut 8 to 10 minutes out and make it work a lot better.
It was pretty long.
Now you have me just sitting here wondering how and why the hell the Powerpuff Girls are in this at all.
You'll get it.
because fanfic.
Yep, pretty much. And here's the thing: someone pointed this out when criticizing it. They set this up. They said the guys doing the guy doing Double Rainboom was advertised it as show quality animation. And that basically means criticize me as if I was an actual episode. He basically said, I'm show quality and trying to be as true to an episode as possible. So that once you deviate from that, now you've just opened yourself up to a lot of criticism.
Well, show quality animation more so is saying judge me on the animation.
I know, but he also
didn't
said
say show quality script writing.
he said he was trying to stay faithful to this episode.
Yeah, I know that, but show quality animation. If he just said that.
Oh no, I'm just.
Well, there are parts where it looks very much like the show.
I know.
Animation.
One thing is the animation is very great, but there are definitely a few times you kind of go into the uncanny valley territory, where it's like you see little things are just a little bit off compared to the actual show.
Right.
Which
Well, that
again,
that face in the smoke in the beginning.
Yeah, I did not like. I was like, oh, are you serious? It's like
Was that supposed to be a troll face?
Yeah, it's like that came out of nowhere. There's no point to it, and it's like, what? Why?
Basically,
Problem ponies.
Yeah, it's just. I'm saying he Yeah, so a lot of people are like, give the animation. You know, some people are like, well, the animation's pretty good, but it's nowhere near show quality. And it's like, yeah, once he did say it's show quality, that means you kind of. Yeah, on that part, technically it kind of failed, even though it is still great. It just kind of, you set the bar a little too high there and kind of set yourself up for failure because of that. If you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
But yeah, still great animation though.
Either way, it's all right.
Yeah. I'd give it a thumbs down, but Forstring says it's all right. So there you go, 2 different opinions on it.
I will give my opinion in another 20 minutes or so.
Anyway,
I don't think we're. I'll be honest. I don't think we're going to get much better than that in terms of fan animations.
Not much, unless we actually get someone who was an actual professional animator deciding to do this something on his off time or something.
Well, hey, keep in mind we've got Journey of the Spark.
By the way, I remember he said he's pushing back to 2015 now.
Oh, jeez.
It's like,
well, when you take on a project, I mean, he wants to make it feature length.
I know, but I'm saying it's been pushed back to 2015. He was saying November 2014. Now it's 2015, so that's a long way. We don't even know if the show's still going to be on the air by that point.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
It's going to be the Duke Nukem Forever of the pony fandom.
Oh gosh, please no.
Well, hey, some things are good when they're delayed. Look at BioShock Infinite.
Yeah. But anyway, moving on to our final few quick hits.
Oh, we
Japanese
still have
dub.
more
Oh, God.
Yeah, we've only got 2 more. Trust me.
Shoot.
We're almost done. The Japanese dub of FIM has premiered. If you're curious about it, go check it out on the internet, including its, of course, as Forstring put it, awesome theme song.
Oh my God.
See, he's practically foaming at the mouth right now, just thinking about it. You see, what you don't know is that foam is actually beer.
Yeah, actually, I am. I'm on my 3rd beer right now. Second since this podcast started.
This podcast is going to be fun. Oh my God, Twilight is. What is she doing to Rainbow Dash?
Good night, everybody.
And we're done. And finally, the last quick hit. Several MLP books have been released, including the one about Alicorn Twilight post-season, right almost immediately after the Season 3 finale. Entertainment Weekly has also released images from several upcoming releases as well, like the, very much anticipated show guidebook, which will still have things like character bios and whatnot in it.
Oh, yeah.
So you can actually buy that book right now, so it finally came out, even though I found images online of it. So anyway, yeah, that's the quick hits. The not so quick hits.
Yeah, it took too long.
Yeah, it took way too long, partially because we talked forever about Double Rainboom, but whatever.
Yeah, I didn't help.
Our main discussion, though.
I mean,
get out.
Pointing out every single pony-related pun
Ever.
every time.
Yeah,
Every time I say bit, I'm always just like...
bits. Yeah. So our main discussion of this particular episode is My Little Pony, the movie from Generation 1. Yeah, the 1986 original Generation movie. We're going there.
Okay, you longtime fans, as a person who's still not really that heavily into the fandom, I watched this movie and I pose a question to you. How did you survive this long with that as your main starting point? Good God.
So yeah, movie. This do you want? That's what it's called. This My Little Pony the movie. It was. Let's see what happens. Ponies are doing some spring festival thing. Then some witches see it, don't like it, decided to cast smoos on them to ruin their fun because they're evil. And then the ponies need a new home. They defeat the witches somehow, and then everyone's happy except for the villains. Yeah, that's it. There is nothing really more intricate to it than that. So I guess first off, I want to talk to Artfan, I guess. Brief summarize of your opinions. Go.
I gave up after a half hour. God, why do 90% of the characters have New York accents like the ponies? Half the characters sound like Harley Quinn, just at different pitches, and that irked me. The animation is just odd. There's no emotion in any of the faces, or barely any. And oh god, that first opening song where Lickety Split and Spike are singing, and they get really close to the camera, and they're like trying to shout over each other. I'm like, oh god, back the hell away. Ugh. It was and I just don't. What is the plot? It's like the schmooze. That thing is grotesque for a children's animated feature.
All hail Lord Smooze.
Oh god, that thing was disgusting. It's like who put this in a kid's? And then it had to start singing. Why did it have to start singing? Did we need it to start singing? No, we didn't. It was like, I mean, yeah, okay. In Friendship is Magic, yes, they break out into song, but it makes a lot more sense. In this, it's like so far out of left field, it's not even in the ballpark. It's from the parking lot. It's just like, I stopped. I was like, I've had enough.
Okay.
And the songs are just bad. They're just
He's still going. He's still going.
God, it's like okay. Let me get a reference here. Let me go back to YouTube.
Here we go.
There we go.
I mean, folks, I have to just tell you, if you could survive this.
Let me tell you about the ponies. Give me a sec.
I mean, I swear I'm not. 4 Strings the only one drinking tonight.
He's about to get one of his rants, kind of on the level of when you ask him about nerdy chicks.
Well, let's not go there. That doesn't need to be discussed that heavily.
What he's saying is all the music should have been Metallica.
Well, that too, but I mean, Metallica can make anything better.
Right.
Except Lou Reed, apparently. But that's for another time. Okay, like this. Let me see here. Hang on.
Artfan, did you ever see that thing I posted to your Facebook?
Yes. About, I loved it so much. The ending was so worth it.
Okay, for anybody listening, if Nemesis doesn't cut this out, it's every single was it every single that James Hetfield ever did.
There's so many.
Yeah, it was every single that James Hetfield from Metallica has ever done in song.
on every studio album. Like, okay, this song here with the witches singing, it's about 7 minutes or so into the movie. It's just like,
can you really call that singing?
It's not. Yeah, no, it's like, it's there's not even a key to it. It's just like, I mean, and the character designs are so grotesque. It's like, you would think for Hasbro, this being one of their flagship franchises, they could have put a little bit more budget into and effort into this animation. I mean, I know it existed. I know this movie was made only to sell more toys, but come on, Hasbro.
Raw.
It's raw.
That's all I had to say about this movie. It's raw.
That's it? Nothing else?
Yeah. That's really all I had to say. No, I was waiting for him to finish.
You done yet?
This animation is so unfinished that EA would try to publish it as a game. Oh my god.
Are you done now?
I only say that because I saw that on a Gordon Ramsay meme.
Yes, I've seen it too.
Okay, but yeah, I'm done. I can't. If I talk any more about this, I'm gonna find the creators and yeah.
Anyway, 4-String, how about you?
Do I have to?
Yes.
Okay, so funny story. This isn't as bad as the Care Bears movie.
Oh, I don't know about that.
So we at least have that. I know because I watched the Care Bears movie about a month ago.
Oh god.
And happened to play a drinking game in which I drank
Oh God.
every
Of course
single
you did.
time they said the word care.
Oh god.
So
Oh, that was a bad idea or a good idea. I
so
guess.
that helped us get through it.
Bro, why didn't
I
you
wasn't the
invite
only
me to
one
this
watching
party?
it.
I would have.
Yeah, it was a good time. If you have Netflix, it's on Netflix. So just
I just saw it. I just saw it on there. I was tempted to just no, maybe not.
Next time
It's a
I'm in
thing.
Ohio, I'm playing this drinking game with you.
There we go. Okay. I'm going to be the usual it wasn't as bad as it could be type person and say it wasn't as bad as it could be.
Oh, you're
Like
just an apologist for it. That's what you are.
no, not really. I mean like I just kind of understand how the 1980s were with like animated films that were like based off of, that were basically made to sell toys and stuff like that. And like it's just this was a thing. This is just what happened. And I think back then My Little Pony was as it was intended to be the same way, with Friendship is Magic. It just didn't end up working out that way pretty much. But it was pretty much intended for young kids, very, very young kids. And it shows in this movie. I mean, like has very little plot. The villains are not threatening at all. They're very silly. There's not much attention paid to like detail, the voice acting, stuff like that. And like, I mean, like in the songs too, there's not much attention paid there. It's your stereotypical 80s animated film it's based off of like a toy line. It's just that's all it is. And like the reason that we're pretty much even here is because when Lauren Faust decided to take over Friendship is Magic, she said, well, she wanted to make it so that, parents could enjoy it too along with their kids, because parents, I don't think enjoyed this very much, this 1986 film. And that's kind of how I think we all came about to an extent, is because she made it so that it wasn't like mind numbing for older audiences. Whereas this was very clearly made for a younger audience, and solely a younger audience. And that's pretty much the best I can say about it. I can't really criticize it that much because it really wasn't made for me. Like, really wasn't. Like, this is about as far away from me as you can get, except for that channel on DirecTV with that's like for babies that like is just like, hey, let's learn to count. And like when I was like 13, I'm like, well, I still haven't learned to count. Sure, let's watch this. But like, now I'm like, well, I can count to 200. I'm okay. I'm good.
200.
So, but like, still, it's just like that's really how I feel about it. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
it's bad to me, but like that doesn't make it all bad. I mean, like it wasn't made for me. I'm not gonna like get too crazy like about it, like especially in like a critical sense, because I mean, like it's still not a very good movie for kids by all means. I mean, there was a lot better stuff coming out
Like
at
Transformers.
that time. Yeah,
Even Transformers, which was designed to sell toys for kids, was still done better.
yeah. But
Transformers
we also
just
have to
had cohesion to it, though. This just
it's just
nothing gelled.
I'll tell you what, though. I mean, the songs, it just made me really miss Daniel Ingram. Not even just Daniel Ingram. Some of like the singers in, for Friendship is Magic, just made me miss them. I was just listening to this. I'm like, God, guys,
Please stop.
you really cut a lot of corners, didn't you? But I'll stop now.
Okay. I was like going in expecting to absolutely think it was the worst thing ever, but it's just bland. It's just,
Which is just like I said, that's
That's
kind
the
of
thing.
80s.
It was
animation
1980s. It was for
yeah.
girls. No one cared enough to actually put a lot of effort into it because they didn't need to.
And no one cared a lot to watch it either because
Yeah.
it made like no money at the box office.
But this movie pretty much, I recall, bombed hard though.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, I mean, Transformers movie bombed a little bit, but that's still got to gain a cult following. This just bombed and kind of went into obscurity to the point where it's openly on YouTube and
and no one cares. They're like, fine.
Yeah, because this isn't making a movie. I'm not even sure if this ever got a DVD release or anything. Because like Transformers, they got 20th anniversary DVD release, big old special edition. This did not.
I'm gonna find one. I'm gonna make one.
Yeah,
you guys buy it. It will have special features of this episode.
Oh God. The other thing about this movie is, yeah, I could not honestly, only two characters I honestly can remember. I can remember like three characters' names, and that's it. Everyone else is like, who are you? Like I can remember Spike, Lickety Split, and the Grundles. That's it. That's all I remember. Everyone else is just a big old just sea of color. And all that, most of the character designs are pretty bad. The ponies, I'm like, what were they thinking with these designs? These are not good designs. They're all, ugh.
Nothing about any of the animation is a good design. I mean,
sometimes there's one. I think there's one piece of animation that actually kind of stood out for me. I was surprised, but everything else is just, very, very much on a budget. It feels. And then of course you got everything is just, it's very bland. It's almost, even though like the other things like Transformers, G.I. Joe, they're just there to sell toys. Like it's pretty obvious like the Transformers movie. They're killing off all these characters, introducing new ones, so you'll go buy the new toys. But they still had a cohesive story. This was just so blatantly obvious with its like selling of stuff. It's like, wow. Like the solution, Dream Castle's overrun with smooths. What do we do? Oh look, here's Paradise Estates. It's got a pool. It is so it's just like, oh wow, you guys didn't even try to mask it. You don't get a gold star today.
Oh my God! Sorry, I'm still watching Double Rainboom, and I just heard a reference to Back to the Future in the score.
References everywhere in this. I'm telling you. Even references you'll blink and you'll miss it type references.
I've already seen like a billion of them. I'm just like,
see
that I've wanted to facepalm at.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I don't like that. Anyway, back to the movie. And of course you got the villains who are evil just for the sake of being evil, and that's it. There is no other motivation behind it. There was like anything. It's just, we're evil because we're evil. Deal with it.
It's because they're ugly.
Yeah, I guess. It's seriously. This is. I mean, it's just the stereotypical. Oh, they're evil because they're evil, and oh look, everything good is horrible to them because like one of the that the mother threatened her kids with eating ice cream as a punishment. It's like,
oh no.
Yeah. I was like, whatever. It was weird because I've seen this. They didn't do this before. Like villain. Other kids things are like, villain. Some villain doesn't really feel the villain thing, and they turn good eventually. And that almost felt like they're going that direction. And nope, they're just as bad as their mother. Whatever. Especially when they sang about sharing or whatever. And okay, so again, sang is loose term. But yeah, I don't know. It's just very, very bland throughout the whole. There is nothing really memorable about it. It's just there. It's very just. It was just phoned in. There was nothing really redeeming about it. And it's like one of those things. Like I saw in the opening credits, I saw Danny DeVito's name. I'm like, wow, the guy will really do
anything for a check.
Yeah, anything for a check. Yeah, not good. Looks bad, sounds bad. Plot is almost non-existent. And not only that, they did that stupid thing where they do with anything. They do with any like kids movie where they have to inject some human kid in there just for the sake of, oh, the kids have to have someone to relate to, or else they won't get it. Crap. Yeah. I don't know.
It's a thing. I don't know.
Yeah. And this thing is, though, this is not the only pony movie that has ever come out. Far from it.
So next week, we review the rest of them.
Sometime in the future, don't be surprised if we come back to My Little Pony movies.
I mean, okay, can we at least say that this is better than G 3.5?
Yeah, because
I still have to see that.
That's
I'm
the
curious.
thing. A lot of people.
How can there be half a generation?
There's a lot of us in the fandom right now are like knee-jerk reaction. All previous generations are terrible. But the thing is, there's people who defend like previous generations. Here's the thing: G1 was just bland. It was just there. Nothing really great about it, but nothing really bad about it. G2, I don't really know anything about that either. G3 though is like G3 and 3.5 are like the ones that are like, oh my god, kill it with fire.
What is so bad about? Especially, how do you get half a generation? I don't understand.
That's a slight redesign. Yeah, I don't understand.
But only very slight. Slight enough that it's different, but not, super different.
Yeah. It's strange. It's just, G3 is the one that everyone almost universally agreed that it's horrible. No matter who you are, it's just awful, awful things. And it's the
kind of thing you show at conventions to piss people off.
Unsuspecting people.
Not that that's ever happened before.
Yeah. So there's quite a few movies from G3, and I found out that there was apparently, I don't remember, this is like either part, depending on who you talk to, this is either part of G1 or part of G2. There's the My Little Pony Tales, and that had a movie. That was the one that was more like what people are feeling Equestria Girls is going to be, which is all about boys and crap.
Yes!
And apparently that had a movie too, so there's that. That's a thing.
Yes! Yes!
Shut up, Bison.
Sorry.
Yeah, there's multiple movies. We might see them in the future. Just for we'll risk our own minds for the sake of your guys' entertainment.
Next week we're watching the Care Bears movie.
Oh god, that has nothing to do with ponies. No.
If we're watching if we're watching that, I'm getting so drunk before we record.
No, what we're gonna do is we're gonna play the Care Bears drinking game during it.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
And then we're gonna get on and do it afterwards.
Oh jeez.
Nemesis, if you don't want in on this, I understand, but I'm totally there.
It's a good time.
Oh,
I had a good time.
Oh god.
Though after a while, me and my girlfriend are just like, oh god, not again, and like drinking again and just like crying because it just kept happening. Sometimes we had to literally pause the movie sometimes so we could catch up because they said it so much.
Care.
Like there was one of the songs said "care" in it quite a bit. We're just like, fuck. No.
We should listen. To go back to that thing you were mentioned earlier. After that, we should listen to one Metallica album and play a drinking game every time Hetfield says yeah.
Oh jeez.
Game over, man.
Game's not over till someone's dead from alcohol poisoning.
There it is. There it is.
So yeah. G1 movie. Very bland. Don't bother. Just take our word for it.
Oh, and I will actually say that it's whatever. It is bland, but if you want to check it out for nostalgia's sake, or not necessarily nostalgia as history's sake,
Maybe it is nostalgia for some of you. Who knows?
It's not good. Well, yeah, it might be for but it's not hateful. I really don't think it's hateful. Like it's not something that like elicits like this sort of like, like oh my god, I want to like punch a wall type thing. It's just
Promenade.
Yeah, right. It's just kind of there, and you're like, well, 80s, I don't know. But you finish watching it, and you're like, whatever.
Well, I just spent an hour and a half of my life.
Again, Care Bears movie is worse.
Yeah.
At this point, let me just say that I'm finding Double Rainboom to be actually worse, because at least the Gen 1 movie was somewhat original in storytelling.
It was?
Well, original. It wasn't a fan film. Fan films annoy me beyond utter belief.
Double Rainboom people, if you're listening, I still like your movie.
Oh.
Don't hate everybody. just those two.
Oh.
It's just like, this is all you could think of, really. Just, she could fly so fast that she creates tears in reality, and this is what you can think of.
What would you make, Artfan?
I don't know, but after playing Bioshock Infinite, I could think of a lot better things to do with a tear in reality than this.
You just make it into a Sonic thing.
Well, yeah, if she can go that fast, she has to race the fastest thing alive.
Actually, that would have been really funny if she like all of a sudden became so fast that like it just became a Sonic crossover.
Oh gosh.
Dude, She would have to challenge Sonic's title as fast as they
And there was just those two yelling "Gotta go fast" like at each other for 20 minutes.
And Metallica's playing music in the background.
Oh, man.
This. Well,
Honestly,
can we make this?
Hey,
can we actually?
Can I write to these animators? Can they make like another college film?
There we go.
Yeah, just saying, if you're going to go ahead and say we're going to make it, show, true to the spirit of the show, I would have gone ahead and just made, just an alternate universe of the pony thing.
I would have brought back Discord, only he wouldn't be Discord. He would still be voiced by John Delancey, only he would be Q. And then
So you'd make it a Star Trek cross.
I would insert myself into it.
Of course you would. You
I would
and Tori
be naked.
Spelling.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It would be Tori Spelling.
Yeah, so...
I'm very surprised that we got through an entire discussion of the My Little Pony movie and didn't mention once that there were humans in it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mentioned...
Well, they were forgettable, that's why.
I did say it, because I talked about
did you mention it? Okay.
Yeah, because I was talking about the whole, this incessant need to put human characters in these worlds of non-human things because they think that kids need them to relate to. Because it's like, no, you don't. You don't really need that's been a plague on Transformers forever.
I relate to Spike, but only the G1 Spike.
Oh. Wow.
All right, I'm going to go finish Double Rainboom. Continue discussing, guys.
Well, I don't think there's much else to
Yeah,
discuss.
we're pretty much at the
I think
end.
we've pretty much hit the rest of...
There's nothing much else to say about it except, it's just there. There it was.
This has to be one of the most disjointed episodes we've done.
Probably, but that's what you get when you take 2 weeks off.
That's also what happens when there's a hiatus that's going to last for another, year.
Yeah.
That's also what happens when one of the cast members is drinking during the show.
I also explain things, too.
I could do that every night, though.
Oh, dear.
Every night. Who voiced Spike in this?
Someone, I don't remember.
I'm looking at the page. It's not even on here. What?
What?
Voice cast. I'm looking at her voice cast, and there's no Spike. That's...
Wow, even in G1, no one cared about him.
Yeah. Oh, no, there's Spike. Okay, it was Charlie Adler. Okay.
Oh, okay. So, guess
Who was Starscream in the Transformers films, for those of you
he's also
who...
Cobra.
Oh, yes. I guess that's actually a bigger one. I don't know.
He's pretty famous for both of them. So, yeah. That's the thing. So, anyway, I guess we're done with that.
Yes, indeed.
I got a little more to talk about, though, because, as you're probably well aware of, in our little break, 2 comics came out. One of them being the micro series, this being the Dash issue, and the other one being issue 5 in the mainline series. And first off, the Dash series issue, once again, as usual, very good actual physical quality. Doesn't feel like cheaply made. It feels well made, all that stuff. The art itself, it's drawn by, who was it? Tony Fleece. I don't know. Fleeks. I don't know if it's a hard C or what. But yeah, that guy. And written by Ryan K. Lindsay, so different people. Art's pretty good. Pretty close to the show style. Got some weird things. All about Rainbow Dash, so... And also, kind of, if you're one of those people who are, think that the comics are canon type thing, aren't on the same tier of canon as the show itself, this mean which confirms that they have TV in Equestria and PNN. Because, ponies. So, anyway, this thing the story is about basically this storm cloud that just will not go away no matter what Dash tries to do. And it turns out it's being controlled by gremlins. One of them wearing this weird, silly pink hoodie. And also, this one also has Applejack appearing in it because,
Because they're lovers, okay?
Yeah, of course. Because, Applejack's a silly pony.
She is.
Also got a gothic pony at one point. I
feel like tacos.
Also interesting on it, this also kind of is related to Double Rainboom in a way, and you probably guess how. In fact, it's pretty much the whole point of the comic. Entire page dedicated to it.
What's going on?
Well, good job on paying attention there.
Oh. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's all about Dash. It's okay story. I mean, it's not the best so far. Actually, I think it's probably one of the weaker comics in the entire series. Period. It's not like bad or anything. It's just there again. It's not. Yeah, so I enjoyed it for the most part. Kind of groaned at one of the pages just because it's like, oh, there it is. Yep. But yeah, it's still got some pretty good facial expressions and whatnot. The Gremlins though, honestly, the Gremlins kind of look out of place compared to everything else. Maybe it's just me, but yeah, the Gremlin design just looks this feels like it's like a completely different art style. It just kind of merged, like kind of shoehorned in. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but yeah. So you're a Rainbow Dash fan, you'll probably still enjoy, but otherwise, yeah, bland. The other one though, the number 5 of the mainline series, which is not by the previous, the same people who did the first 4. It's by Heather Neufer and Amy Meberson. And, well, it starts off, Twilight's having a nightmare, and she's running through a rundown, broken Ponyville, and there's some weird mist, and turns out then the other 5 are also having a very difficult time sleeping because of nightmares and stuff. So they decide all have a sleepover, and then they all have the nightmares anyway, and then...
It's Freddy Krueger.
No.
Oh.
They see their nightmares, and then turns out, it's Rarity gets captured, and oh crap, by this mist stuff, whatever it is, and yeah, and then Luna appears and stuff, and what. Yeah, so yeah, very well done. Similar art style to the previous 4, but definitely still different. For one thing, I don't know what it is, but this artist draws Twilight's hair very oddly. It's got like this weird poofiness to it that it does not have in the show. I'm not sure why they made that design decision, but they did. Yeah, the facial expressions, once again, some pretty good facial expressions in this comic. For whatever reason, Luna, when she appears, she has her season 1 design with the short, normal hair, not the flowing star hair. I'm not sure what that was, what the decision behind that was, but there you go. There's definitely one thing I have to mention. There's a really great reference to Gravity Falls in this comic. I mean,
yeah, I haven't read the comic yet, but I've seen that picture.
Yeah, it's like you cannot miss it at all. There is, on like one point, Spike's holding a Starbucks cup for no reason. So very well done again. It's kicking off an interesting story, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to enjoy. And apparently somehow someone got their hands on issue 6, which kind of confirms the direction I suspected they're going in. I won't spoil it. If you're, inclined to look for it, it's there. Oh, on a couple panels actually mimic the if you remember the opener from the very first episode of the series, there's a couple panels that mimic the art style. So yeah, very, very, very. I'm very excited to see where this one's going. So yeah, definitely better. My opinion of the two, between the two, this one's definitely better. But then again, the micro series are very different in style from the main series anyway. So there's that. So yeah, I definitely recommend this one. I definitely recommend you definitely pick up issue 5 and the micro series. You could take it or leave it. Yeah, that's a thing.
Good times. Good times.
Me babbling. Nice. That's good times, all right. So, not much else to talk about, I guess. Not this week. Not right now. Watch.
This was a good show.
I hope so. But watch is like almost always something big is going to happen tomorrow, or while I'm editing this. Just watch. It always happens. It always happens. So, yeah. Once again, thanks for listening to us ramble and talk about Double Rainboom and G1 and being drunk and all that stuff.
I'm not drunk.
Okay, getting drunk.
I'm getting there. Yeah.
If you are actually still interested, you can actually, listen to us on iTunes. You can search for Pony 401. You can download us direct on Libsyn by going to pony401.libsyn.com. All our episodes are there, and this one will be there too. And of course, as you probably noticed, we're now doing a show notes. You can click anywhere you get this show. You will see a link. You can click on it or copy paste in the case of iTunes because it doesn't allow you to put a link there. You follow along because this with the links and everything to our show. You can get it, watch us on youtube.com/pony401. No, again, listen because we don't actually put video up. Well, yeah. You can follow us on Twitter at Pony41. We're also on Facebook.com/Pony411. If you want to hear all the updates about us, just in case want to know exactly what to know the second a show comes out. There you go. So, once again, don't forget, please pony responsibly. So,
Nope.
Much like 4-string.
yes, much like him.
Always responsible.
Always.
Every time.
Every time. He's a liar. Bye, everyone.
Good night.
Because that voice,
He
that's
loves
what
his tail.
that voice is what I masturbate to when I go to bed.
Good night, everyone. How much have you had to
I'm fully aware that will not be used, but I don't even care. I'm on beer number 5.
Oh god.
Oh my god, dude! Why am I not over there with you? God,
Because you live in Florida.
if I didn't have school in the morning, I would so drink with you right now over Skype.
I have to coach track practice in the morning for middle school.
Well,
You can
At
just
8
run in
a.m..
circles for a while. I'm gonna be over here in the shade, away from the sun.
Why are you wearing sunglasses and the sun's not even out?